Okay, so I've already started training. I didn't want to go through the strength because it gets a bit monotonous, but I've done 4 sets of 4 on my strict press. I wanted to do 58.5. I couldn't. I ended up doing 57.5 again. So that's the same weight that I did in the last strength block. Frustrating, but it is what it is. So what I've done is I've just done my 4th set, and now I've dropped the weight to 35 kilograms, and we are going to do a massive surge pump, and it's going to be a blaster on the delts. Like for me, one of the best shoulder exercises is strict press, and one of the most underrated. Like a lot of people do side raises and lateral raises and front raises and rear delts and all of those, but they neglect the strict press. And the strict press, yes, it's not just stabilizing motion because you're standing, but because you're keeping it strict. And when I say strict, I mean you're not fucking bouncing the shit around. I don't want this kind of thing. That's a push press. Okay, push press is when you bounce. We're not bouncing. Even though you're standing, and you could probably do this seated. And if you find yourself using your body momentum and bouncing even involuntarily, then I would recommend sitting, because then you are less likely to be able to use your legs. I like standing simply because then I have to engage my core more and it becomes more of a compound movement. When you seated, obviously a lot of the stabilizers don't have to work as hard because you're seated. But it is still a really taxing movement whether you're standing or seated. And we are literally gonna blood pump this to maximum failure. Take a few seconds, go again. Take a few seconds, go again. The goal is 50 reps. So take about 50% of your working weight for the day. So mine was 57.5, which, no, this is not half of that. It's not half of. Okay, so more like 65% of what your working weight for the day is. So a reasonable amount of weight. And we are literally just gonna push blood into the shoulders as much as we possibly can. So we've gone heavy, and now it's just volume, blood pumping, and getting that thickness into the shoulders. Wait until we finish and we can see. So shoulders are looking like that. Let's see how they look by the end of the set. So the goal is 40 reps on about 60%, 65%. Yeah. So let's go for it and see how we get on. So don't bounce, okay? This is not a leg movement. This is a shoulder movement. That's all we want to engage. Shoulders, shoulders, shoulders. Keep your chest up, scapula retracted, so you're not using your traps too much, okay? Let's go for it. Okay, 14. 26 to go. Let's go. 4 sets are going to get smaller and smaller as I go. Oh. Okay, halfway. Oh. Come on, come on, come on. Mm. 10 left. Okay.
You don't look like any.
5 left. 5 left. Ah.
When you look, come on.
Okay. Last 5. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Right. Fucking pump. So, couple things. Okay. I did not lose form. If you look, I didn't lose form. Every single rep. Touch the collar, full lockout at the top. Oh, the pump. Okay. And I fought those reps. Okay. So I did not drop weight. I wanted that weight, the resistance, the push, rest as little as possible. Go again, go again, go again. We are pre-exhausting the muscles, and I love doing this. So essentially, I'm pre-exhausting the muscle so that everything else that I'm going to do next is even harder. Because the muscles are already saying, fuck you. And now I'm going to go in and do more and more and more and just really blow up the muscles, blow up the fascia, get the blood's in there. Like no fucking doubt. Like, check it out. The pump. And that's why I say, don't cheat yourself. If you start bouncing, the only person you're cheating is yourself. If you start using momentum, if you're not keeping the form, the only person you're cheating is yourself. Because yeah, you're making it easier, but the muscle is not activating as much as it could because you're doing like a half a rep. So you want to make sure every single thing you do in the gym, you're doing with as maximal intention as possible. This one was just about getting blood into the shoulders, nothing else, the fucking shoulders. So we can blow up the shoulders, pre-exhaust them. So that everything else we're doing is maximally hard, and we don't actually have to work the muscle as much because we already fried it. Like if you're in a hurry, literally do that and then like do some side raises, some rear delts, you're done. That's all you need to do. You're done. Like that will destroy your shoulders right there. Like massive pump. Okay. So now that we've already pre-exhausted delts with the strict press, like blood pumper, we're going to go on to 2 more exercises. So obviously the delts are separated into your front, your medial, and your rear delts. So I'm going to target the front and the medial, and then I'm going to target the medial and the rear in 2 exercises. The first one is something that is very humbling in that you don't need a lot of weight to really feel it. So literally, I've got 4 kilogram dumbbells here, okay? The goal is tempo, okay? It's about having time under tension. One of the things, again, especially with shoulders, is you don't want your traps to take over. You know, you see those people who have almost no shoulders and they just got traps. That's because they're using their traps for everything, not their shoulders. So don't be one of those people. Leave your ego at the door and make sure that you're using light enough dumbbells that you can use your delts for the movement, okay? Like, I freaking love this exercise. It's one of my favorite. Again, it's so freaking humbling because you don't need a lot of weight to really destroy your shoulders, especially since we've already re-exhausted the muscle with the strict press and then going straight into the 40 reps at a lighter weight. But like that, I'm already like, my shoulders already feel quite weak. And like the other day when everything else started taking over, when my back was fatigued, you want to make sure that what you're doing is hitting the delts and not secondary muscles, because then you might as well stop. So, right, nice and light. Keep your chest out, scapula retracted, okay? Let me just lower this a little bit so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay. So, nice and slow, time under tension, chest out. To the side, to the front, back to the side, and down. Nice and slow. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, okay. So that is, a fucking pumping complex. So you can you could see when I turn to the side, I'm keeping my chest out, okay? Because the moment I cave in, I start using my traps more than my delts. So just make sure like I'm keeping as upright as I possibly can. So I did as many as I possibly could of this complex. I can't even lift my arms properly. Okay, so to failure, literally on this complex, then straight into side raises to failure. And you can see like I'm doing small little reps, you know, they're just like partials to failure. Then I'm holding it out for as long as I possibly can for 10 seconds or count to 10. Preferably, if you can't hold it out for 10 seconds, just literally hold it as low, as high as you possibly can, whilst not doing that. So you still want to do that. So you're really engaging your delts. And then you're going to do one more rep as high as you possibly can. So that is the superset. So we're going to do 3 of those. Okay. Then we're going to move on to rear delts. This is like a super quick, literally like shoulder destroying workout that I freaking love to do, you know, especially if you're under a time crunch. Like shoulders, it's just about annihilating every single angle of it, getting the blood in there, ripping it apart so that it grows back bigger and stronger. And like we've already done half the work, so it's now just this 3 sets of that. Then we're going to do one of my favorite rear delt combos, also kind of like a tricky kind of like superset of different elements all amalgamated together to get really, really, really round delts, because that's the goal. We want to hit there, we want to hit there, and we want to hit there. We want to hit the entire delt. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 more sets of that, and then we're going to move on to rear delts, and that is going to be today's workout. So nice, easy, quick, but like blood pumping of note, and just, the most important thing is make sure that you're hitting the shoulders. You're not hitting your traps, you're not hitting secondary muscles, because that is where the issue of I can't grow my shoulders comes from. It's like, yeah, well, you're not hitting your shoulder, you're hitting everything else because you're going too heavy. Like, the shoulder's a small fucking muscle, okay? Like, if you have to compare the two between your shoulders and your traps and everything else, the shoulders are small. You don't need a lot of weight to hit it. You need to make sure you're doing the right movement and really getting that muscle-mind connection. And that's where muscle-mind connection comes into play, because you need to be able to focus on hitting your shoulder. Okay. And if you have a training partner and you're really struggling to hit your shoulders, literally get them to touch your shoulders whilst you're doing the movement. Because then by them touching the shoulder, you can then make that muscle-mind connection. You're like, okay, I can feel them touching my shoulder. Then you can really focus on that connection whilst you're doing the movement to make sure you're not cheating yourself and you're not bouncing or you're using your traps instead. So that is a good tip of mine, is if you are struggling with the muscle-mind connection to your delts, get someone just to touch you on the shoulders whilst you're doing the movement to really isolate it. Okay. 2 more sets. Okay. So now we're on to the next exercise, which is rear delts, and another one of my favorite. You'll need 2 dumbbells for this one, because you can go heavier with rows than you can do the flies. But again, it's like rear delts, rear delts, rear delts, okay? You just want to freaking annihilate them. So I use a slight incline bench. I like to use a bench for the rear delt rather than seated leaning over, because when you lean over, one, you tend to bounce a little bit and you can't isolate the delts as much. When everything else is taken out of the equation, you're already stabilized, you're not having to use your core, you can't really bounce with your body. Then it's literally just, okay, I can control this movement and make sure that I really isolate the rear delts as much as I possibly can. We will use a little medial delt with this combo as well. But the goal is, again, don't shrug, try to isolate, don't swing, so we might do some swing at the end depending on how I feel. But this is one of my favorite rear butt delt combos. So we're gonna hit it. So again, Yeah, that's a fucking solid combo. So I can't lift myself right now, so I'm just gonna explain like this. So you're gonna do as many of the combos as you possibly can. Into side flies. Fuck, my shoulders are destroyed. And then you're gonna hold it for as long as you can. 10 seconds is the goal. Then one more as you possibly can, as high as you possibly can. Straight into rows. And you wanna keep your chest down, okay? And your traps down, and you have to go down so that you're not shrugging up. You're shrugging that way. So you're engaging your rear delts, okay? You're gonna do as many rows as you possibly can. Then you're gonna hold it as high as you possibly can. And then you're gonna do one more. And the goal is the entire time is to focus on your rear delts. And if you need to, get your partner, if you've got one, to touch your rear delts so you can really isolate them and make sure that the muscle line connection is strong for the rear delts the entire time. And that is the combo. So you're going to do 3 of those combos, and then we're going to finish off with a core shoulder exercise, which I love, just to final fry the shoulders and get some core in as well. So I'm going to do 2 more sets of this, then it is core, and then I'm done. I'm done, baby. Fucking done. Okay, so the last exercise is a hollow hold with plates. So you're going to get into your hollow hold position. So what I like to do is really focus on squeezing my chest down towards my belly button and my bum towards my belly button. So squeezing everything to the center. Okay. And whilst you're holding that position, you're going to take a plate and you are going to rotate it overhead, back and forward. Okay. So that is just like the final icing on the cake for destroying your shoulders whilst getting some core in as well. Oh. So I'm going to do 3 sets of 10 reps just to finish off everything. And then, yeah, I'll catch you after I've done here. Just run through everything. But comment below. Oh, you can't even see me. Right, so let's just. So that was shoulders. Focus on every single element.
I tried them waiting me these 3 days. One day Wednesday.
So solid shoulder day. Not so long, like I have done longer days, but I feel like many ways shoulders does not need to be like over the top, keep it simple, stupid. I prefer predominantly free weight exercises. I'm not a big fan of machines, especially when it comes to shoulders. I just find you just can't isolate the shoulders as much. And because it's often machine, like the range that it provides isn't necessarily what is ergonomic for you. And I don't know. I just personally prefer free weight most of the time when it comes to shoulders. And I've got the best results doing free weight. So those combos are some of my absolute favorite combos. Sometimes I just go heavy. Sometimes I'm just doing combos like that. So if you want to give it a try, let me know, comment below. If you have any questions, let me know. Give it a go. Let me know how you get on. And I hope you get a fucking swollen shoulder pump like me. And let's keep kicking ass this week. I hope you're having an amazing morning, evening, afternoon, whatever the fucking time it is. And let's keep making some gains. Let's make 2024 the best fucking year yet. Yee. Striations. Best freaking shoulder workout. Yeet.